Oh my god, we're back, and Melody and Arrow Trail are officially fed.
Oh,
They have their food. Oh man, we are officially at King's Fall. We're in the Hellcatch, and things are only going to get more interesting from here, to say the least.
Anytime the DM says interesting, it's code word for deadly. Okay, so we're all on the same page.
So where we last left off, the team having fallen victim to the organization. Although we don't really know the name of this organization yet, we just know them to be a group of changelings that seem to be working in cahoots with the Iron Collective in an effort to either subjugate all of the governmental and kingdom powers, where they may have failed with Lavian's moves in Jrusar. They decided to play the only gambit they had left, which was to supplant not only Jaman Saord, but possibly have assassinated the Bright Queen and have begun their moves throughout Marquet to solidify their power and to continue whatever nefarious project they may have in mind. The team being wanted by the Hand of Ord for questioning and arrest, it would seem while Fabian has been put into custody, the prancing centaur has been shut down and abandoned for the time being. And I believe it was Kaleem that currently has Binder in their possession in an effort to stay in contact with the group. The group traveled by teleportation circle as Karina's non-nefarious powers continue to grow. Not only did we see new powers from Karina, but we saw the return of an old friend. Evil has come back, and it seems Evil's Raven existence may be more tethered to whatever the Raven Queen may have in mind for Karina. For now, the Raven Queen's not exactly happy with Karina, but something she'll eventually figure out. The teleportation circle saw us get to the outskirts of King's Fall, and from there, secreting our way out into the old mine tunnels and caverns on the cliffs and bluffs of the sands that rise on the outskirts of King's Fall. Here, the team sought shelter in what they thought was an abandoned cavern. Here, they took a long rest in their magic mansion, a gift that was given by Scanlan to Eritrea some time ago during his journeys to learn more about himself. But the team had an interesting conversation about motives, expectations, and what to do next. In fact, they were so lost in their heated conversation that the Magic Mansion ran out of time, ejecting everybody out into the cavern. From there, the team realized the cavern was no longer abandoned, as a group of goblins with a mixture of augmented equipment and other things seemed to have a group of smugglers, I believe known as the Brazen, were there. Here, the team had no choice but to defend themselves, as the Brazen saw the team as a threat. After defeating the Brazen and running them off, the team had made the decision to use the undertunnels, the old mines, caverns, and shafts of the Undercity that was used to build King's Fall itself, as a means to find a secret way in so as to avoid people's suspicion and possibly ne'er-do-well thoughts. Did we take another rest, or I think we took a short rest, right?
Nope.
Maybe a short.
No.
We didn't say it yet, so
I would wager with all the discussion that took place after fighting the Brazen, I would say you guys can go ahead and trigger a short rest, because I know it's early morning at this point. You just got the day started with a pretty rough fight.
Yeah.
After rest. So we do need to figure out what to do about Regina, and I think we only have about 3 hours before the planetary bind is done. If we want, we can maybe go into a tiny hut and use this time to just recast the spell, because it takes an hour. And with people's help, I can maybe try and cast it in the 6th level, which I'm gonna have to ask a storyteller if I'm allowed to do, because technically it's maybe in a gray zone. But if I do it,
So anytime you try to cast a spell that's higher than your capabilities, instead of using your spell attack modifier, you use just your spell modifier.
if we can, it would mean that we have her under the spell for an entire week, I believe. So we won't have to think about it for a week, and I'm sure we can figure something out by then.
So
And
we'll
this,
forget about it.
which spell are you thinking of? Geese?
Inner binding.
Planner binding.
Oh, just at a higher level.
Yeah, one higher level, I believe, is a week, and then above that is 10 days.
I mean, you're more than more. I mean, if you want to try and beat that DC 16 casting roll with just your spell modifier, you can certainly give it a try.
We have 3 hours. If people are okay with using those 3 hours, because it takes me an hour to do the spell, maybe I can try twice, and the first one I'll do it. Like maybe the first.
Oh, you know what? Let's do this. That particular spell takes an hour to cast, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to declare that your proficiency with that spell has been earned, and at this point, whenever you cast that spell, you'll cast it as a ritual. That way, you do not have to roll on the spell casting table. However, if you try to roll above your spell capability, then you will have to roll on the spell casting table. So you can either take the annoyance of the sure thing of it working every day, or you could take the risk of it lasting a week, if that makes sense. That's kind of the balance.
And that's more than fair. Do people have a preference between doing it every day or trying to just like use this time? If people like would like to take a couple of hours to investigate this area while Karina does that, or to take a short
Ford doesn't have a problem looking around the area here. I mean, he'd probably scout ahead anyway, picking up his rogue traits now. So he'd more than likely spend the time. If we're going to do that, he'll spend the time, scouting out some of the tunnels to try and figure out which one might be the shortest path to King's Hall. Because I don't think we're just in the main room and there were a couple of different tunnel offshoots.
Well, yeah, I mean, the main cavern that you settled into was one of what could be hundreds.
Right. So
there's different pathways down that go off into different directions toward other old tunnel entrances. Clearly, the Brazen that were here because they were familiar with this cavern, which means there may be a tunnel entrance here, but you're not entirely sure yet.
Yeah.
So, Ford, give me a survival check for starters.
Okay.
So, Karina, are you ritually casting for the day's worth, or are you going to make a risk and cast for the week's worth?
If people are okay with waiting for 3 hours in like tiny huts, then I will try twice to do the one for the week, and then in the final hour I'll do the sure thing.
Hey, you never know. You may roll well. So we'll say while Foreign is out scouting around. Foreign, what'd you get?
I'm within 10. We get the extras on our rolls within 10 feet of you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, on saving throw.
Oh, damn,
saving
okay.
throw.
But if Treo follows you around, you get a D4.
For guidance.
Yeah. Let me throw that one out real quick then. The D4, because
Okay.
Good. It's a 4, so 16.
16. So that means Eritrea is joining you as you
just
start looking around for a possible cave entrance.
Melody, talk to him about that sword too.
So Melody, while Karina sets into her focus on the spell that she's trying to cast, you watch as Forn and Eritrea begin to wander the whole breadth of the cavern and trails to see if there's a way into the Undercity. What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on us to help him sneak.
I believe that's already in effect.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I cast it at the end of last time, but I don't know if I need to do it again. So.
Yeah, so you have it for, I think, an hour, I believe.
I can double check. I think it is, yeah. Spells. For
Because I know it's concentration.
up to an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
I was reading the spell text first instead of looking
So
at
Eritrea and Forn, give me stealth checks.
Yep.
You have a +10 to your rolls.
and advantage for me.
Nice.
Advantage for you, for your roguiness.
So
I love watching it get dark over Ryan's shoulder. It's so hysterical. It was like light when we started. It's already like getting dark.
that's
Pretty
a
soon it's
40.
going to be dark the whole session.
I know.
I got a 40 on my stealth roll.
Jesus.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
I rolled an 18 plus 12 plus 10 for pass without a trace.
Yeah, plus like plus 22. That's crazy.
You vanish from the face of the earth.
You can't even hear him breathe. What'd you get, Eritrea?
29.
29? That's really
Nice.
good for you.
Yeah, I rolled an 18. That's
Hey.
plus 1 plus 10. I mean, that's
So while Thorn and Eritrea are off searching around, Melody, what are you doing with your time?
I think Melody and Arya are sitting on two sides of Regina, and we're both just kind of. I have a sense that planar binding is not a long-term solution on Regina, and it'd be better if she liked us if we were friends. And it seems like she's in kind of a vulnerable place right now, so I think we're just gonna like chatter at her, be like, "So what's your deal? Like, where are you from originally? Like, do you guys date in the Changeling organization? Like, what's your favorite form?" Just like try and like kind of girl chat with her.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check on that one. You
All
can
right.
have advantage because your sister's helping you.
Oh, fantastic. I feel like the DC must be extremely high on this.
Well, she doesn't hate you so much as she does Karina right now. So
Well,
we did keep her alive.
all
That's
right.
fair. That's
I got
fair.
a 12 plus 13 is a 25.
That's pretty impressive. That's a good roll. So Karina, you're going to try this at level 6, right?
Yeah.
So roll a d20, and then you're going to need to beat a 16, and you only get to use your spell modifier for this.
Okay, and if I use my daily charm to kind of charm her before that, can I lower the DC at all, or is it ironclad?
Because you're trying to do it higher than the prepared level, it's going to be risky. So unfortunately, it's not going to help you with this.
That's fair. That's fair. So okay, first roll is 6 with my spell modifier.
All right, so
Okay.
go ahead and give me.
Good.
So go ahead and give me
Wow.
give me a D100. We'll see what happens.
Oh wait, I got. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah. Man, I forget.
Whew. I'm glad that Eritrea and I are walking down the cavern.
Yeah.
84.
84? That's not bad. Arcane Ward. Up to 6 creatures you choose within 30 feet gain temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your spellcasting ability modifier and advantage on the first saving throw they make before your next turn.
Oh,
So go ahead and roll 2d6 and then add your spellcasting modifier to it. And then that way Professor and Melody will have those temporary hit points.
that's gonna be a 10 overall.
All right, so Professor and Melody, you two watch as Karina is in the midst of this spell, and her whole body just kind of glows this like day glow yellow and blue. And you can tell that she loses focus on the spell. This like series of floating wards around her kind of drift out 30 feet away, kind of landing on you and Professor, and you just feel this strange magic come into effect, but unfortunately Karina's spell does not go off.
Shucks.
I don't know what you just did, but I feel great.
So that's the first hour of that taking place, where Melody and Arya are talking to Green Cloak. Thorn and Eritrea are out looking for either a trail or an access point. Professor, what are you doing with this hour of time that's going to take for Karina to try to get the spell off?
So I'm gonna play the the gay college professor card and just like sneak up to where Melody's talking to her and just kind of like be like, okay, So I never do this, but spill it. Oh, come on.
Love it.
Green Cloak is kind of okay with the conversation. She's still fully under the tether to Karina, so her animosity seems to be more focused on Karina than it does on anything else. She also, even from her last conversation, she still seems pretty profoundly affected by what's happened. Her rescue from the Bright Queen prison, the death of the Bright Queen, and the seemingly, inability to control her surroundings. She kind of admitted to feeling more like a pawn the last time you guys had a conversation with her. And while she's not necessarily she's still under the charmed effect by you, Karina, or is that worn off at this point? The filter.
I believe it's worn off at this point.
Okay. So the tether only binds her to you, correct? Like she has to do what you say because of that planetary tether. Okay. But she's now aware that you were also the one that kind of slipped her that Mickey to kind of...
Let's call it that.
I mean,
she's aware, so she's obviously dealing with those emotions and challenges of that awareness. But because of her tether, she can't exactly really do anything about it. Melody, the first thing that you notice, and Professor's there with you as well, so he would notice as well, is that Regina seems very relaxed because Foreign is gone. Like you get the feeling that there's definitely some recognizable tension there. But Green Cloak just gives off these professional vibes. Like with that persuasion, I'm going to give you a free insight because of that persuasion. She is someone that but you get the feeling that she is someone that may not necessarily believe in the cause, but taking advantage of the coin. You know what I mean? Like she's got work. They're paying her to do something. They're paying her for her involvement, but you don't get the vibe that she's a believer in the cause. Like there's something at the edge of her personality that tells you that there's something else going on with her. And she seems to smile and laugh a little bit as you and Ariana are asking her all these kind of questions about what it's like to be a changeling. And Green Cloak kind of takes a pause and looks at you, stares over where Karina is in the midst of her incantation to try again. Are these not questions that you've asked Karina? I mean, you and your friends are aware that Karina's a changeling, of course, right?
Yeah, but I'm like really
Well,
more
obviously,
curious
yes.
about you than about like changelings in general.
Oh. Considering we've been a people that have been maligned and persecuted for a long time, and we've found solace in our own kind for the most part, you're right. It's hard. I was married once a long time ago.
Really? No way. Who are you married to? What happened?
It's not something I wish to talk about. It didn't end well. But it kind of set me on my trail. Initially, I became a freelance bounty hunter for many years after what had happened with my husband, and I found I was good at bounty hunting. I fell into league with a group of changelings some maybe 2 or 3 years after the Feywild was destroyed, and I found a kind of existential home with them. It wasn't until about a year or so ago when they started speaking with the Iron Collective that I felt disconnected from whatever it is they felt connected to. But I'm not going to lie, the coin was good. I mean, knowing what I know about you and your friends now, I don't think I would have actively tried to kill you. It's always the strange thing about the world when things change and time passes. You get to know people and things. I mean, I still don't think Karina's a good person. I think there's something wrong with her, for sure.
Get to know her.
Well, yeah, but changelings have been going through some challenges. You see, our very existence for the longest time was directly tethered to the existence of the Feywild. When the Feywild was shattered, our existence became tethered to random chaotic pockets of the Feywild that were kind of subject to its destruction. And she leans in to whisper, some would even argue that some of us are tethered to pockets of magic that are driving us slowly crazy and insane, creating figments of our imagination. And she, so that Karina can't hear her, she leans even closer. I'm not saying that Karina might be happening to her, but I've seen it happen to other changelings. It's not something I wish to experience myself. I cut myself off from the Feywild permanently after its destruction. I felt no need to expose myself to such chaos. But I guess we live normal lives. We like to drink, and I think the only thing that's not normal about us is that if you cast a certain spell on us, we're revealed. I mean, other than that, I use my background for the trade that I am, for what I do. I was paid to do one simple task: undermine the authority of the Chandei Quorum. Lavian was my only contact in Jrusar. I knew none of the other operatives or cells that were operating in Jrusar. That's just the way they did things. That's why I don't know where to go to in King's Fall. I don't know where to go in Ank'Harel or in the other capital cities of Marquet. I know there's changelings there. I know for a fact they are there. I just don't know how to contact them.
Can I, first of all, just say, I know you must be a really good bounty hunter, because the third day that we got to Jrusar, we told a shopkeep that you were in town, and they flipped out, absolutely freaked out, kicked us out of their store. So I know you're really good and really scary.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, no, of course. It seems like a really messed up situation. You're totally right. Changelings are just like people with a really super cool shape-shifting power, and it sounds like you're part of an organization you really liked, and then someone kind of took advantage of them. Does it feel that way?
Spike is obviously not his real name. No one knows his real name. That's just the nickname he goes by. But when he arrived in the Hellcatch Valley, our group was nomadic at that point. We were traveling in between places of permanency. We felt that was safer. We momentarily did have connection with a halfling that went by the name of Puck. She gave us sanctuary in Rockhaven for a time, giving us a ride to certain parts of the Hellcatch Valley that we couldn't quite reach. I mean, let's face it. Who's going to turn down a chance to ride on a massive sauropod with a town on its back? I mean, that's really cool. But we were a little concerned. Puck drinks a lot. And there's something about a drunken sauropod driver that just made us a little bit nervous. So we kind of found our way back into the desert and traveling. But when Spike found us, he was not in his Minotaur form. He was in his changeling form. And he was with his partner, Lafian. And the two of them began a long journey with us. And while most of us seemed to fall in and enamored with Lavian and Spike's story about blaming the material plane for the loss of the Feywild, I never quite felt it was a genuine story. Whether or not anyone's to blame, I'm sure there's plenty of blame to go around to all, but I just simply don't see how you can possibly bring back an entire plane of existence that's destroyed. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And with the Shadowfell destroyed, Feywild destroyed, the very magic that would be required to bring such things back seems impossible. But they were charismatic and convincing. And over the course of that year, created 11 cells of changelings. The more important ones were Ank'Harel and Kingsfall and Jrusar. The other ones were not named, so I'm not entirely sure, but I would imagine the Panagrip Sands and any other major kingdom, their capital would be at risk. And I would only assume that there's a cell located in every capital of Marquet. But Ank'Harel was the prize. Spike was insistent that bringing Jaman Sa'or down, replacing them, and then beginning the journey to take King's Fall, which I suspect they've already done, and then our attempt at Jrusar. The idea was to cause the entire erosion of the main core of the kingdoms of Marquet, opening up all the other kingdoms to us for infiltration and other activities. But there was something wrong with Lafian. That story I told you about changelings being tethered to chaotic pockets of the Feywild. He seemed like maybe that was happening to him. There was something eating away at him, something making life difficult, and his mind would wander, and he found it very difficult. I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on it. I had a conversation with one of the other changelings about it, and while most of us believe it mostly to be superstition as a way to explain away a changeling's madness, Lafian definitely showed signs of a maddening behavior. Took so many risks that didn't seem worth the outcome, but his main risk cost him his life and my occupation. So maybe it's true. I don't know.
What do you want now, Karina? Like, obviously, we're kind of in an awkward situation now where it's like we have to keep you, or you might try and murder us. But like, what would you want to do in theory?
Sorry.
Well,
it's funny
well-
that you addressed that to Karina and not Regina.
Oh, did I say Karina instead of
Yeah,
Regina?
trust me,
Oh,
she meant
sorry.
Regina.
But it
I know
totally
she meant
tracks.
Oh,
Regina.
yeah.
Completely
But
trapped.
Karina got all smiley and happy and like,
Oh,
you're
I'm
asking
sorry.
me?
I'm sorry.
Well, then she said, because obviously we have to kill you, but I stopped smiling.
Sorry.
I love it. I love it. I don't know. I fear Forn more than I fear Karina. Karina seems a bit chaotic to me, where Forn seems genuinely angry just about everything. So I don't know what that means. I'm glad. Listen, I have to ask: is Eritrea always that hot? I mean, is that like his main power? Like, is that his superpower? He's just hot. I mean,
He looks like that. I don't think he uses like chemical or anything.
My
Like,
ears are burning.
yeah, much further down the path they are.
Eritrea ruins his 29 stealth to be like, I heard that.
What's his story? Does he have one?
I mean, like, literally, I think, like, got his memory wiped, like, 6 months ago, and then he got all his memory back, and now he's really mopey, but he mostly won't talk about it. So,
Oh,
I think he's, like, kind of, sort of a sad boy.
yeah, that just made him a little bit hotter. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the appeal.
Yeah, it's part of the charisma. God, does he have charisma? I mean, natural or otherwise, I don't know. Is he like a priest, a holier than thou, like one of those?
Like a cleric.
And does he have like a clerical clergy that he believes in? Is there something Like, what's his pantheon? What's his deity?
I think you would have to ask him.
Oh, so it's okay if I talk to him then. He's not like into any of you, right? He's like his own person then.
Shoot your shot.
I think
I have to. I just want to chime in. I don't really understand. Like, obviously, I'm Aarakocra. I don't really follow. Like, I get nothing of this, but he's literally a child. This seems really inappropriate.
No,
He's like
he is actually like 30 years old. He just only remembered the last 6 months of his life, but now he remembers his whole life. So like morally questionable a week ago, but now he remembers his whole life.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's such a
I see
party
that.
girl response. That's a D6 inspiration, Melody. It's like
I don't
if
know
you're
if I
a
want that
professional.
inspiration.
I mean, it was well stated though.
Okay, that makes more sense. I still don't really understand. Like, I go for Aarakocra, maybe the occasional fish folk. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't really understand mammals. But you say he's particularly attractive. Okay.
Oh
his
yes,
privileges-
I mean, yes, he's stunning. I mean, you can't really even pull your eyes away from him.
I just want to say the plumage on his wings a bit plain.
I just wrote in my notebook, Regina thinks I'm hot.
This will be relevant later.
Leverage.
Just underlined multiple times.
Yeah. Professor Jabatross, right? That's what they call you?
He's muted.
I mean, it's my name and title, but yes.
What are you a professor of? Like, what's your
Interplanar-
academia?
I have a teach a course in the University of Irona of interplanar studies and cross-planar archaeology. May I ask what prompted this?
I just, you know how I feel very different and unique amongst normal people? I would imagine you suffer the same challenge. I've maybe only met one other Aarakocra in my whole life.
I don't know what you mean by normal people. I'm a normal people. It's the others that aren't aided by that are a bit odd, shall we say?
I see. Anyways, back to a conversation with a normal person then. Melody, what's the plan? Karina's clearly over there doing something. Eritrea and Fawn went off looking for an entrance. You and your sister and the professor are clearly keeping an eye on me. What's your plan for me?
Well, Regina, I guess that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, what do you want to do? Are you still kind of on mission? Do you want to hang out with us? What are you trying to do at this point? It seems like you've kind of been betrayed by the people that you're working for.
Well, the system was always set up to make sure that if it all collapses, there's no capability of betraying. So I guess I was brought in for the Jrusar attempt, and it has failed, at least from my perspective of my involvement. I guess I'm not really tethered to a company at all, and I think I would prefer to journey with you and your friends if we could figure out a way for everyone to trust each other, I guess.
Like, what's your goal? Like, are you like trying to save the Fae? Are you just trying to make money? What do you
Mostly I just want to make money. I mean, this whole saving the Fae thing is ridiculous. I just think it's a ruse to convince and brainwash people into doing whatever it is that Spike wants done. I don't even think he has a real plan. I think he's just taking advantage of weak-minded people who essentially have given up hope and think that somehow he's going to deliver it. But I don't really think that the Feywild has any future. I don't think it's ever going to exist again. I think its shattered magic is all that remains, and that's all to be expected.
I mean, yeah, I think we're in kind of a tricky situation here. It sounds like we don't really have a way to trust you, you know? Like, I like you, I think you're really cool, but I don't know how we can meet in the middle.
Well, time, I guess. Maybe.
How long has it been? Has it been another hour yet?
Yeah, Karina, what's your plan? Are you going to try the spell again, or?
Yeah, that would be my final time attempting the spell, and if that doesn't work, I'll only do the ritual.
Okay. So another. Give me another DC 16 or higher to pull off the week long.
Can I give her a bardic? Oh,
Oh,
What'd you get?
it was a nat 1 plus 4.
Oh, wait! You got a nat 1 on casting something above your pay grade. So I need you to roll on a separate table.
no.
No.
This is what's called the Power Cast Surge table, because you rolled a natural 1 while trying to cast above your spell ability. So give me a D100, if you would, please.
Does anybody have luck?
Eritrea and I are gonna come back, and it's gonna be blood everywhere. We'll be like, what
Just
the
smoking
hell?
craters, a couple of feathers just floating down.
Rough. That's a flat 30. I'm gonna
Flat
turn.
30. Mental snap. You take 28 points of psychic damage from the failed power surge. You have the frightened condition of your own image until your next long rest, and you cannot cast any spells until your next long rest.
What?
Oh man, that did not work.
Oh no.
And I'll describe what everyone else sees when we come back. Foreign and Eritrea, you started off with the interior cavern, and you're pretty convinced that this is not the jump off point. This was the place where they would collect, maybe sort their smuggled goods, and organize themselves to go off in different directions. You get the feeling that maybe there are many different tunnel entrances that provide smugglers and others access. And the ones that you suspect that the Brazen would be using are the ones that would be nearest this particular jump off point, this cavern area. So the two of you, kind of leaving everyone behind, take one of the more well-worn trails that you suspect should lead to what you're looking for. And in fact, after about 20-30 minutes of searching, you and Eritrea come across a mine that looks pretty well used. You can see that debris has been cleared around it, but in such a way that the debris kind of gives a false front, that if anyone were to come and look here, they would be suspicious and think it's still a collapsed mine tunnel. But you could see where they had cleverly moved debris out of the way. And as you and Eritrea move a little bit further into the mine entrance, you can see that it descends down into the darkness at a not a very steep angle. But the two of you give me investigation checks or perception as you kind of look around the immediate space.
I see nothing.
17.
Even with my plus 10 to perception, that's an 11.
Oof.
So,
You are just it's like there's a tinnitus ring in your ears. You get the feeling that some arcanic rupture just took place back somewhere else that distracted you.
yeah.
I got a 17.
So 17. So on that power surge table, Karina, if you roll a 100 on the power surge, it just says make a final death save on it.
Oh, oh my god.
Careful.
Is that my current predicament?
You
No.
didn't roll 100,
It's
you rolled a
just
30,
I was
so.
re-looking at the table and I was like, "Ooh, there's some nasty stuff in that table."
I'm gonna be more mindful of not doing that shit anymore.
Well, you
Yeah,
never know;
please.
it could pay off. You never know.
I'm gonna get a gambling addiction out of this game.
You're
So
not
true.
cheese.
Eritrea, while Thorn is checking the walls and the rafters that have been built into the mine tunnel, your ear picks up the sensitive sound of an axe pick and two people talking. And it's echoing and drifting up from the depths of the mine. They seem to be speaking common with a bit of nomadic accent to it. A kind of one male, one female. They seem to be laughing and talking about something that they're looking for. And you can hear the female voice kind of whispering jokes and making fun of the older male voice. It feels like maybe it's a good, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet down into the mine shaft itself. It's just that the echo is rebounding and kind of cascading up towards the mine entrance.
Fawn, I'm not sure if you've been able to pick it up, but there seems to be a couple down there. They're looking for something. They're having a jolly time doing it too. And honestly, based on their demeanor, from what I could tell, they don't seem malicious. They kind of seem like they're friendly with each other and they're just searching for something. I would like to try to investigate this further to see what they're looking for.
Let's get eyes on them first.
Yeah, I would like, of course, not just going to confront them immediately, but I would like to creep down in their direction a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll keep that same stealth check because it kind of gives you the same area that you're in. Foreign, you begin to lead the way with Eritrea behind you, and now you can hear it. You can hear the whispering. You hear a female voice. I don't know why you keep looking for these stupid rocks. You never find them. They hear a gruff voice. It's not about finding them. It's about what they mean. I know people think these mines have been abandoned for a long time, but I'm telling you, they're down here. These stones are down here. But it's not like you even know what they do. You look for these stones and you take them, and what do you do with them? I mean, have you ever found these stones before? No, I haven't. Luckily for us, the Brazens seem to not have used this tunnel today. Otherwise, we'd have to move on. But here, grab a pickaxe. You're supposed to be helping me dig. Get to it. And now you can hear the kind of steady, light sound of a pickaxe kind of tapping into the rock. And occasionally, you can hear them kind of moving or shifting stones. You and Eritrea get close enough that you can see an individual with a heavy pickaxe, and he seems to be, when you see him, oops, that's not her. There he is. When you see him, he looks to be more of an older half elf individual, maybe well into his late hundreds, maybe like 150, 160 years old. Long white beard, white hair pulled back in a ponytail, wearing kind of engineering leathers with lots of equipment and tools hanging off of his body. You could see leaning up against a pillar of rock. You could see a very long kind of black powder rifle hanging on a peg. You could see a bandolier of small pistols. And standing next to him, you can see a tiefling. She has like a gray and bluish color about her. She seems young in comparison to him, like maybe in her 20s. She too is currently using a shovel and pickaxe to clear some debris. And they just seem to be lost in thought and conversation and steadily just like digging and moving rock aside as if they're looking for something.
Boy, this seems like your type of guy. Maybe you could talk about guns with him.
I'm afraid if I start to talk about guns with him right now, he might try to use a gun on me right now.
Do you think we should approach as kind of lost travelers, kind of looking for a way? We come across very.
It's not a lie.
It's not necessarily a lie, and we're not coming across aggressive. We're just kind of looking for help. But I am curious what rocks this man is talking about. I don't even know if he knows what it is, and he might be able to give us information how to get to King's Fall too. But I still want to be subtle. Yes.
What's the lighting look like in the cavern down here? Is it?
They have a couple lanterns hanging from some pegs, so it got brighter as you came further down the tunnel.
Okay.
They have a small brazier lit nearby. You can see that they have other equipment leaning up against the wall of the mine, as if in case their other equipment goes sour or breaks. Other than that, it's very dim light.
Okay. I'm going to point at the guy and whisper a message to him, like using the cantrip message.
Okay.
I'm going to point to him and I'll be like, this is going to startle you. I don't mean it to startle you, but my friend and I have come across you and we would like to talk. We're lost.
Give me a persuasion check on that.
Yeah. Because he's being honest.
I just say persuasion, not deception.
I know. Yeah, that's and it's a good time to roll well. That was a nat 20 plus 6.
Oh,
Nice.
6.
How do we look right now? Like, I know we just got a battle, but are we bloody? Like,
I mean, you look,
I got cleaned. I prestidigitated myself back to my normal scruffy self.
I would say short rest always allows you an opportunity to clean yourself up a bit, so
Clean.
it helps.
Those stray feathers that are like not sitting right.
You notice he stops digging into the rock pile. He lays his hand on the shoulder of the tiefling. Twist. Don't move, but somebody's watching us. He turns around, looks down into the darkness. I heard you. You may enter cautiously. You don't sound like brazen.
I will use the light cantrip on myself because we're in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use the light cantrip on myself or on my familiar little dog.
Yeah.
And so he's lit up in between us that way, you know, and my hands are up. Like I have my gun's on my back. They can see it, but my hands are up.
Mine too.
You hear the young tiefling look up at the half elf. What is it, Tam? Who are they? What are they? Don't worry. The brazen don't give themselves away before they kill you. It doesn't make much sense. The two of them kind of like cautiously set their equipment down. She rests her hand on a dagger. He just kind of crosses his arms and watches as the two of you and your familiar kind of come into their space. The female tiefling just kind of looking at you like past the elder half-elf's form. Well, it would seem that you truly are lost. Two of you don't strike me as claim jumpers, miners, or smugglers. What is it exactly you're doing? Well, first of all, since you didn't kill us outright, I go by the name of Tam Glace, is my name. My companion here goes by the nickname Twist. Don't really know what her real name is, and frankly, I'm not sure she knows what her real name is. She just has always been. Who are you, and how are you here?
I'm foreign. And he puts his hand out.
He reaches out, grabs it, and when he shakes your hand, the calluses are like sheet metal. Like it's like he clearly has spent his whole life digging. You can tell that he has. And he pulls his hand back and away from you and nods towards you. Twist.
My friend here is Eritreo.
And I just kind of like give a prayerful bow.
Of course. Nods towards you. Twist comes bounding past Tam. She runs over to Forn and just kind of looks him up and down and kind of stares at you for a moment. But then she turns towards Eritrea, and Forn, you see that familiar glaze come over most people's eyes when they lay their eyes on Eritrea for the first time. And she just skips right over to Eritrea, and she like puts her head on his shoulder and goes, "What's your name?"
Eritrea.
Oh, you're she looks around. You're like really cute.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. She like skips away, and you watch as Tam just kind of shakes his head.
I look at Tagways, I'm like, he gets that a lot.
I understand. Anyways, how can me and my companion here help you? What seems to be the problem?
Well, we found ourselves in this cavern. I do have some other friends back down the party. These brazen you spoke of, is that the goblins around here?
Yes, goblins. The brazen are led by an artificer that goes by the name of Clank. He is, well, he's a lot of stories, let me tell you. I don't know where he resides, but the brazen serve him. They go out and they smuggle and steal for him. And he makes components and items for them to use. If you run into them, you can't help but notice that they are very different, and the tools they use are quite chaotic at best. Strange that they're not in the tunnel today. I was expecting them to be here, and I have not seen them all morning. Hopefully
we ran off some. We had popped into the tunnel there and surprised each other, I believe. But
I see.
It was a short little fight, but they took off, turned tail, run down one of those trails. Not this trail. This was another entrance to the cavern room back there, so can't really.
Yes,
say,
these cliffs are littered with all sorts of abandoned mines and dig sites of the many centuries that it took to build King's Fall. Is there something you're looking for?
Actually, we're looking for a way into King's Fall.
Have you tried the main gate?
We could go that way, but
Twist pops up.
Strange.
Twist pops up. Tam, I bet they're wanted. They're trying to sneak into the city, Tam. I bet you she just stared. Being a criminal is like super cool. I mean, we're all kind of criminals down here. It's just what we do. I mean, the one with the hat, Tam, and the rifle definitely looks like a criminal. I bet you he's kidnapped the pretty one, and he's probably gonna take the pretty one back inside, sell him for some gold. I bet you anything. Twist. Remember what we talked about? Yeah? Shut up. Okay.
I mean, your friend has a very active imagination.
Yes, she does.
Although
She very much does.
we may find ourselves on the wrong half of the law, but there may also be other things in King's Fall that we aim to avoid. Heard there's been a bit of a ruckus here lately.
The question is, Forn, what do you look like during this conversation? Are you in your...
Well, I look like Forn. He hasn't
Okay.
bothered to change his... Yeah.
He looks at you kind of very specifically. You are aware that King's Fall is not the best place for Fey folk to find themselves.
Hence
Even a
trying to
pointed
find-
ear may get you in a bit of a tussle.
Hence trying to find these less than legal entrances.
I see. Well, perhaps we can make a bargain. I am in need of some... It's called Glenstone. It is the fractured remnant of meteorite streaks. It is said that before King's Fall was ever built, that a rather large falling star collided with this area, and that ancient veins of this fallen star exist in the underdwell of this place. This stone is very valuable, but more important, I use it in my work for my tinkering and my other magics that I use it for.
What magics would those be?
I guess you would call them artificer magics, perhaps. I augment devices and I build puppetry and other things for the children of King's Fall. I hold a little back alley shop called The Way. That's where I find things down here in the mines and then use them in the construct of such things.
If we have time, I might like to learn a bit from you, but as it sits for now, do you have a piece or something like that that I could perhaps try and use to suss out where you might have a... I mean, have you tried using magic to find this stuff?
Well, unfortunately, I have never been able to find any of this stone. I've only recently come across some research material that describes what this stone is and that it may be located down here in the old mines. Me and Twist have been down here for a long time, maybe the better part of a month or so, trying to find at least a sample of it or where it might be, but we've had very little luck.
Well, let me give it a shot. And I'm gonna try and cast locate object. I was reading the spell description as we're going over it. I can sense the direction to the object's location if it's within 1,000 feet of me, and I can get to within 30 feet of it. And I can use it on a type of object or a specific object.
He sees you kind of preparing that spell, and before you cast it, he hands you a book. And the title of the book is called The Arcane Pathway. But probably the most interesting thing on the cover of the book, Forn, there's an embossing of a gateway that reminds you of the area in Jrusar, the down below, the ruins.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you of that area. And there's also like an embossing of a stone that looks to be in the shape of the one that you guys have.
Where'd you get this book?
I acquired that book from a caravan that had traveled out of the Hellcatch some 6 or 7 months ago. It's what set me on my journey, so to speak. Why do you ask? You have a face as if this seems familiar to you.
You're not familiar with this location?
No.
Huh. I'll open the book real quick and thumb through it and just looking for who might have authored the book and just details on locations. If there's anything in there, a quick glance. I'm not digging through, details.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay. No, you rolled well.
Well, if you're doing a quick glance, then you can give me perception instead.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking for like detail words, not trying to dig into it, but like the one is just the author, which should be pretty straightforward. But then
right.
If there's location details throughout it around Jrusar, and that is a 17 for perception.
The author of the book goes by the name of Malcolm K. Seems to be the name on the inside of the book.
K,
the book,
like letter, or A-Y-K?
K-A-Y.
Okay.
It appears that it's been authored in such a way as if it is a research journal for the most part. And it appears to be mostly about plane gateways and archways that have linear tethers. And this book speaks about the fact that the author believes that all gateways within the material plane that tether to other planes of existence are actually made from the remnants of meteorite and falling stars, that they were used specifically for their magical enchantments and their capability of holding magic. and the author refers to it as glimstone, streaks of meteorite leftovers, streaks of meteorite. In some cases, great fallen stars have left huge craters behind, and then societies have been built up on top of them. Probably the most notable writing in the book is about a place called Dead Man's Crater.
Look, I clearly I didn't read the book, but everything in here seems to be about planar gates and stuff, and you're using this for little constructs?
Well, it's the fractured remains of the magic that I seek. That has more interest to me than anything else. Some say when planar gates go silent or go cold, when the magic no longer works within them, that the remnants of these gates can be used for magical purpose.
I'm gonna just a moment. I'm gonna step back and pull Eritrea aside, like showing in the book, like, you see this place, right? We've been here before, and the little star stone. It's all. This is all. What's your take on this guy?
I don't know how truthful he is, that he's at his age. He's been doing this for so long. He's never found one of these, and he wants it to make toys. I'm a little suspicious. He seems very nice, and I hate to be suspicious, but it's strange.
He's also traveling with a very nice rifle and a couple of pistols on a bandolier.
Yeah, there are goblins that, as we found out, they just attacked us for a period.
Right.
So he does need to defend himself in some regard. I don't want to tell him we know anything about these, but he seems like he already thinks you know something about them. And us whispering over the Quorum,
I can send him.
helping.
Yeah. So I'll approach him again. Look, I don't know that you'll find what you're looking for down here, but I can tell you of a location I recognize, which is the location off the front of this book. I don't know if that'll help you in your search, just because I didn't actually go looking around for anything down there. But this location looks like the old ruins at the base of Jrusar, near the Corspire Gate.
I do have a map that I can concur with you on that. I just have heard that Jrusar has been in a bit of an upheaval lately, so we never intended to visit there. In other parts of the book, they speak of a gate here in King's Fall. They speak of a gate in Ankarel. The one that I'm most interested in, I hope to travel to in the future, is the one called Dead Man's Crater. Most believe that was formed during the period of divergence, and that a great star fell to the ground there, left its shattered remains deep into the veins of the old crater. The trick is finding it. Some say its magic is hidden, only visible to those that have true Fey blood in them, and that to find these shards of glimstone, you almost have to be Fey in essence to be able to locate such magic. I only have Sylvan blood in me. Whether or not I believe that to be myth or truth, I've been hoping to find at least a shattered bit or a small glimmer of this glimstone, but I have yet to have any luck with it. I do have other maps and things that I could offer up to you and your friend here to take a look at. If you help me find just a small scrap of the stone, more eyes make for better work. I can show you and your friend here a safe way in and out of the back alleys of the gateway.
I'm not real good with an axe myself, but
I could do the digging. It's more about the finding, of course.
All right. I was going to offer up that I have worked with some explosives before.
Well, we don't exactly want to draw attention to ourselves either. There are other things down here that even the brazen don't interfere with.
Fair point. Right. Well, I'll look back at Eritrea, kind of looking at, because he's heard the conversation, like kind of giving that look like, you okay with this?
Yes, I think we should. Yes. Happy to help, sir.
Well, shall we get started then?
Absolutely.
Certainly.
So,
I'm gonna,
is it just you two going with him, or?
well, they're digging around right here, right? So
Well,
we're
I mean, you get the feel they've kind of given up on the spot. He's got a map out, like he's expecting to go deeper down into the mines.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll send a message back to our group, and I'll activate my token that's on Professor, and let him know we've met a couple of people digging for something called a glimstone, meteor fragments, and they're leading us further in the mine. And I can give them our general direction that we headed.
Okay.
And then we can still holler back and forth if we need to. Or
So,
tell you what, I'll send my familiar back.
Okay.
That way,
That
the
makes
familiar could bring, or my not familiar, but the homunculus, yeah.
Yep.
And they
Okay.
could bring them back to us. Yeah.
Okay. Karina, which spell are you doing this time? The regular one?
Yeah.
Okay. You get your spell
I thought you
attack
can't cast
modifier
spell.
on this one. Oh shit,
thought
that's right. You can't
Yeah.
because of the surge.
We are really, this is actually really bad. I had not thought that through. Like, we literally can't bind Regina.
But didn't you say that I can do it as a ritual casting?
Yeah, but unfortunately with the power surge effect, you can't cast any spells until your next long rest.
Rituals?
Yeah,
How-
like all spell casting is unavailable to you until your next long rest.
Not even cantrips?
Nope, not even cantrips.
Man, this is the worst possible thing I could get.
Well, you rolled a
no.
natural one.
I mean, I feel like last death saving throw would
Honestly,
be
a
the worst.
natural
you
one
could-
would have been preferable. Okay. Well, do we have rope? Maybe we can just kind of bind her for 24 hours. And
I think she is just like physically bound right now, right?
I mean, her wrists are bound in front of her. She, as far as you know, she doesn't seem to have any innate spell casting, but you get the feeling that maybe the binding has prevented her from doing any spell casting because of Karina's command. You guys have about an hour till it wears off.
Okay.
At which point, as you guys are kind of discussing this, you see the familiar homunculus of Thorn arrive. It begins to translate everything that Thorn asked it to tell you, so that everything that has transpired between Eritrea and Thorn, and with Twist and Tam, you're now familiar and caught up to date on what they talked about.
Does Melody have any long-term charm effects?
I could cast a suggestion on her, which can last for 8 hours, where I can suggest a course of activity, and then she has to follow that activity if she fails a wisdom saving throw.
And I'll give her disadvantage on wisdom because she's still under the effect of the tether.
Okay.
So we'll say that'll give her disadvantage on the wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Is 8 hours enough
But
time?
I believe I still need that's a spell, right? So I need a spell casting roll.
It is a spell. It's a second level spell.
So 12 or higher.
Okay. 12 or higher. Let's go. Should be simple.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be one of those nights.
Problem.
I rolled a natural 20 and a 2.
I got a 13 plus 9 is a 21, so that passes. And she got a 2. Is she rolling with disadvantage, did you say?
Yeah, she rolled a natural 20 and a 2, so she will have failed the effect. And we'll say you time it right as the tether is about to wear off, and you now have 8 hours of charm or suggestion. What's your suggestion to her?
I'll say Regina, continue to behave as if planar binding has been cast on you by Karina, and
Ooh,
cooperate
interesting.
with our
Give
requests.
the whole game away.
Yeah, there's a glaze, like the glaze drops from her eyes and then immediately comes back, and you get the feeling she's kind of behaving as if she's still under the effect. But you also know that in 8 hours, it'll have a very different after effect unless you charm her again, unless you
Yeah.
do suggestion again and keep her under the kind of guise of continuous suggestion to keep her safely in your control. But with that suggestion, the question of the day is, do you leave her hands bound or do you unbind her hands?
I think they have to stay bound because I didn't say. It felt to me like it would push the bounds of the spell too much to be like, don't do anything at all to thwart us in any way whatsoever.
Right.
I
That's
feel like she
more
should-
of a
Also-
that's more of a novella than a suggestion.
Yeah, and also like it's a concentration spell, so if I get hit by a rock and it drops,
That's right. 8 hours concentration.
yeah.
All right. So the question is, do you, Professor, and Karina, Ariana, and Regina head off to meet up with Foreign and Eritrea?
I mean, there's no point in staying up here, right?
Right.
How long is long rests?
8 hours.
8 hours.
I can true polymorph once a day as part of my pact boon. Is that spells? Because if not, I would like to turn into a squirrel and just kind of sleep on Melody's shoulder for 8 hours.
I believe that's magic.
Ah, I'm all magic. Yes,
You have your palm pistols.
Fortunate.
I have the tiniest gun.
So with that, you guys gather up your kit and your gear. You head out onto the path. About an hour later, Foreign, as Tam and Twist are gathering up their own gear to prepare to go further into the mine, all of you kind of meet up at that point before going deeper into the mine. He spent that time to review the map and review his notes to prepare, because you get the feeling he's kind of excited that he's got more eyes, more hands, more people to help him. And that seems to kind of excite him a little bit. And he's eager, and Twist is just kind of shaking her head. And I would say at this point, Twist kind of pulls you to the side, Foreign, as the others arrive and begin introducing themselves to Tam. I mean, I think it's really nice that you and your friend are, he might be a little bit crazy, right?
Aren't we all?
Well, it's just, he's a really good friend, and he took really good care of me when I needed help. I just don't want to, he's just been obsessed about finding these glymstones, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why he's obsessed with it.
Look, if you can convince him to try something out, I'd like to check something real quick, and then a buddy of mine will cast a spell. I'll cast a spell. We'll try a couple of things, and maybe we can detect if perhaps there may be some effect happening on you and your friend. Would you agree to that?
Sure, if you think it's going to help him. I mean, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. He's the crazy one.
No, I understand. This is more of just a general precaution, and if it would make you feel better, I'll submit myself to the precaution as well.
Oh, what's the precaution? What does it do?
Hey, Professor,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
would you drop a moonbeam right here, please?
Of course. So give me a minute. I think the lowest I can cast it is 2nd level. So give me a minute. All right, and it's dropped. Oh, I got to roll for that, don't I?
Yep.
Where's my-
12 or higher.
Well, he's got to roll to cast it. Yeah, I was gonna say you have to roll to hit, but
and forgive me, that's a spell attack modifier or just regular modifier?
yeah,
Spell attack
Spell
modifier.
attack.
Okay, cool. I just barely did it. That's a 12.
Oh, wow. These low rolls, man. These low rolls. Hold on a sec. What's up? Just stopping by. Mwah. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, did I miss something? I clicked off.
He
Put
got
everything
it
away
still.
or just set things up?
Oh,
Just leave it.
Oh, okay. So it's already put away? Oh,
my
okay.
homunculus showed up.
All right.
I'm going to Autumn's.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
My homunculus popped in.
Oh, hello. What a cute
Oh, that's your homunculus? It looks like a
Yeah.
dog?
Yeah.
Detective.
Good timing.
Jealous.
Jealous much?
So once he casts the moonbeam, this is weird, but it's kind of a cleansing ritual, and I'll put my hand into it.
Which will automatically take 1 point of damage for the effect. You watch as Twist is like, oh, that's cool. And she puts her hand in it, and she'll take that point of damage. She go, oh, God, that hurts.
Yeah, sorry, I know. Tam, if you don't mind,
Sure, why not? He puts his hand in the beam, and that's a mite stingy.
thank you, Professor. They seeing as they haven't changed,
No, they haven't. They're in their original forms.
right? Then I'm gonna cast a quick detect magic
Okay.
as well. That's I think it's barely gonna make it. Yep, no, a little more than barely. 13. So I needed an 11. So
His rifle is magical. Both pistols are magical. He's got 3 magical rings on his left hand. His belt is magical. His boots are magical.
Ooh.
And his armor is magical. Twist, her boots, belt, her longbow, and 2 rings on her left hand are magical as well.
are any of them? Man, I wanted to call it alteration magic because I'm thinking Elder Scrolls, but any of them?
No,
magic
they're
related to
everything.
shape changing. Nothing's related to changing.
No,
shape.
it's all enchantment magic. You get the feeling that they're probably affected by Tam's ability, where he can do enchantments to things until they're used or until a long rest. That might explain why so many of them are enchanted. You also get the feeling they may have done that because this place is dangerous being down here. So they took whatever precautions they could to come down here well kitted and well fitted out with equipment.
Well, and I was specifically checking to see if there's any self-alteration style magics happening around here or anything that might affect Tam's mind. So on the one hand, to yes, satisfy Twist that there's nothing weird going on, but also to satisfy myself that we're not dealing with a couple of changelings.
Yeah, nothing. It definitely doesn't ping anything weird going on. He's definitely not a changeling, or else it would have, it would have caused him to fall into his original form.
Yep.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, they appear to be just a couple miners down here trying to find something for him to use in his artificer lab or his artificer toy shop.
Right. So, sorry about that, Tam. We've had our run in with some strange folks lately, and we found that Moonbeam will help us find out the wrong person. Right.
So you're worried about changelings then?
Among other things, yeah.
Interesting thing to worry about. But I assure you that myself and Twist can be trusted. We are who we are.
Oh, yeah, I can tell. Thank you. Also, some fancy gear you got there. It's in good hands. We have no interest in it. I like my rifle. It's very nice. I got my own pistol as well, so no need to take yours.
I have many friends that were traveling with you as well. One of them appears to be in bindings. Is there something wrong with her?
He leans in. Remember, I was talking about changelings. So
understood. Yeah. She is a changeling, then I take it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a bounty hunter, so
Oh, well, this all makes sense. Well, I'm glad that you and your friends can join us for a bit of a walk down into the mines, see if we can't find where one of these veins of Glimstone are.
Certainly. I'll let you lead the way. I'll take a little time to fill my friends in on what we talked about. They got a little bit of it, but I can give them a little more,
Twist comes bounding up and kind of stops at Melody and just kind of looks at Melody and goes, "Oh my God, your hair's so cool." And then she keeps going, and then she stops and comes back. You're not with the hot guy, are you?
No.
Good.
He's
And she just goes good and keeps going. She grabs the map from Tam. That's my specialty, Tam. Thank you very much. And then she just literally like disappears down into the mine. You can't even hear her. She makes no sound. She is just like super light on her feet. You'll have to excuse her. I apologize. She's very young and doesn't know much socialization skills. I've tried my best, but she seems to have her own opinion of things. But Tam, Twist, you're supposed to wait. You hear her echoed voice. Well, stop. Hurry up. Let's go. And it like echoes out from down below.
I'll fall back as we start walking. Like I'll fall back to where the
So Twist and Tam are in the lead. Where's everybody else?
Question. Is anybody in the group looking at the professor strong enough to just kind of give Karina a piggyback ride while she starts her 8 hours of...
I mean, I'm shocked and offended you even have to ask.
Yay!
Professor and Karina, like he pulls out his Bjorn carrier, like picks up Karina and lets her backpack onto his back, and she rests, like the bedroll up underneath her chin so she could, like, by the time Professor gets organized and he gets into the middle of the group, since he's going to be a bit slower carrying Karina on his back. I mean, Karina's already snoring, like she's already out cold. Just,
I mean, I feel like Fawn could try to modify entangle and just wrap her up.
Yeah,
around
yeah,
her.
just kind of bind her to the backpack and give her a safe place. So I'll say Professor and Karina are in the middle. I've got Fawn bringing up the rear, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I've stepped back to kind of let Professor and Melody and Karina know, and I'm gonna show them the book. I never gave him the book back. I'm still holding it.
So we'll say the five of you. Well, we'll say that the five of you, although Karina's in the midst of her long rest, are getting caught up by everything that Fawn had learned about the book.
Mhm.
While you're kind of all casually walking your way down into the mines.
You see the stone here, right? And the arch, everything's all together.
Looks pretty familiar.
Yeah. The stone is still in the hole. These are the kind of things he's looking for. So perhaps we might come across another one, or another one of those giant, crazy centipede things that eat stars and shit.
Yeah, nothing like star grazers in a mine shaft.
Right?
Was that us or was that our alt characters?
That was us.
That was us.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah.
when, that was like our first trip down.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so what's the plan? Like, we just need a map from this guy. We're gonna help him find a stone, and then we're gonna take a
He's
map
not
and
looking
go.
for a stone. He's looking for pieces of a stone. He's looking for
Like-
shards, little bits. So as soon as we find a couple of bits, I think we'll be, or once we find an area where the bits are, I guess, perhaps we can just say, all right, well, here you go. How about that map now, sir?
All right, let's do it. Let's get this going.
We did a test. They're not changelings. They are wearing a lot of magic items, I will say. They rings and their weapons are magic, and boots and belts. They're wearing a lot of magic stuff, but yeah. Air Trail, trust them. So
Kinda.
I may not be the best judging character, but I do trust Air Trail's judging character.
Regina, what kind of vibe are you getting on him?
Regina?
Yeah, Regina.
I mean, Regina's under a charm effect with you, so she's like, oh, I'm sure he's fine, whatever you say.
I mean, all right. I was looking for your professional opinion, Regina.
She goes, well, I mean, I mean, it takes all sorts, right? I mean, if he says he's down here looking for Glimstone, I mean, I've never heard of it, but he seems to know about it. It seems to be important to him. And if this is what's going to get us into King's Fall, I mean, it seems like it makes sense.
Can I roll to see if I've ever heard of Glenstone? Just as
Give me either Arcana. Yeah, you can give me Arcana or a history check.
All right, give me that because I just had to plug my mouse in, so I'm kind of limited on how much I can do that. Okay.
The whispered "Oh God" though at the
that was pretty funny.
That was perfect.
That wasn't actually. That is a 19. That was me being tired and stretching.
But it totally
it was great timing. It was perfect timing.
He trusts Eritreo's judgment of people.
And you just hear, "Oh God."
That was a 19. It's the same history or Arcana. So
Gotcha. Historically, it does not sound familiar to you, but from a standpoint of arcane, the remnants of Plenier Gates can be called many different things based on the magic that's incorporated into them. You get the feeling that that journal that he possesses, this is one of many things that could be called Glimstone or be called something else. The journal seems to think that the fragmented remains of meteorites that were used to make arcane or Plenier Gates, those fragmented remains are known as Glimstone or Glimmer for short, depending on the magic that was imposed upon a Plenier Gate. It's not related to Fey Gates. This is not a Fey Gate that he's looking for. This is something else that he's looking for entirely. Whether it was actually used or it's just the remnants of a great crater or a great kind of collision from a meteorite, that seems plausible, but not really anything specific that you've ever heard of. But it sounds legit as far as it being potentially magical.
could I pull out my Atlas of Lost Horizons and see if it mentions anything about that? Just kind of leaf through it and see if there's any.
Yeah, give me investigation or perception as you're kind of going through that book.
Professor, if you want, here I'll hand the professor this book as well, like the journal.
Okay.
You said investigation or performance? Perception. I'm sorry. Yeah, performance wouldn't really do much for me.
I'm reading a book. Read.
All right.
Read.
That is a 15. Depending on that, I might burn one of my my D6s. In fact, let me do that real fast.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
All right. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Your book does talk about the different fragmented remains of Plenier Gates. The Glimstone that he is in search of is considered to be starfallen residue. The remains of when a star slams into the material plane, it is said that it can impact more than just the material plane, and that it can actually find itself impacting the ethereal plane as well. And the collision of those two planes of existence creates what he's looking for, Glimstone. You get the feeling that these are stones that could be used in magical ingredients for invisibility, for stealth, for silence, for get the feeling that he's true to his word. He's down here looking for an ingredient towards things that maybe he's doing enchantments or magical work for.
All right. So
The journey, and I'll say that Jabal-Trust kind of gets you guys all update to what he discovers. This is one of those walking and talking conversations, although it's in a hushed tone because you are in an area that could be dangerous.
After we have that, I'll kind of like, after I've handed off the book, I'll kind of snake my way back up, like around, assuming we're in tunnels. I'll squeeze back around everybody to get up to where Tam is.
Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
you know, You hear about the attack on the Chandei Quorum a couple months back? A couple of big automaton
there have
creatures.
been quite a few rumors. To be honest with you, I've been so obsessed with my own work, I haven't really paid much attention to that.
Well, the damnedest thing, there were these giant mechanical beings, and inside of them there was a goblin that was not so different from the brazen, just a little more put together, if I could say that. But the things were made of Basilisk bronze, which to my knowledge, mostly comes out of here in King's Fall. So if you got a shop in King's Fall, surely you might have some insight to who's been buying up all this bronze here lately.
Well, you're walking through an old abandoned mine that the Basilisk copper, tin, and other things that were mined from this place. My understanding is that the only place that you can get Basilisk bronze is in the city of Basilisk now. King's Fall is no longer responsible for the foundry and making of such things. The King's Fall foundry was closed about a year ago. The new foundry, I believe, that they use in Basilisk, it's called Crimpworks.
Say that name again.
Crimpworks. It's the name of the foundry in Basilisk, of course.
Right. Look, I dare I call myself an artificer. I just dabble, but tinkerer to tinkerer. Have you heard that name Crimp before?
No, in fact, the only reason I know it is because I went to the foundry to acquire some iron and other things that I needed for my own production in my toy shop. And I was informed that the foundry was closing and that somebody by the name of Crimp had bought it out and was moving it to Basilisk. I'm also to understand that he acquired a mine out near Dead Man's Crater.
Really?
As from what I understand, he is someone that is heavily into the working of metals and constructs. He keeps a shop in Jrusar, and my understanding his main foundry is in Basilisk. Although when I made other inquiries, I come to find out that he also maintains a foundry in Uncarel as well.
He certainly is not someone to be trifled with.
I've never met him. I wouldn't know.
I have.
Ah.
I would.
Fair enough. The rich and the powerful are usually best left to their own devices.
That's the thing. He doesn't flaunt his wealth. He doesn't flaunt any of that. If you saw him, I mean, the only reason you might think he's powerful is because he is covered in machinations on his body. That's about the only thing that would give him away. Otherwise, he dresses very normal. He looks like he works in the foundry all day.
Interesting.
But there's more than one of him as well.
As you're in the midst of this conversation with Tam, all of you hear a scream from up ahead. You see the light that Twist was holding. It falls to the ground, and you hear her scream as if she's falling. Tam panics and begins to run into the darkness of the mine.
I'm going to throw him backwards. And
I mean, he's going to challenge you, so give me acrobatics or athletics.
Okay. I mean, like, my intent is I'm trying to use Zephyr Strike to sprint ahead, like to give me a boost of speed ahead.
That's fair. That's fair.
You said acrobatics or athletics?
Yep.
That will be acrobatics dirty 20.
Yeah, you easily push past him, kind of pulling him back, which kind of launches you forward. As you
and it was a nat 20 on my spell cast for Zephyr Strike, by the way.
As you push past him and you launch yourself forward, what are the rest of you doing once you hear the scream?
I would run forward.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure, because he kind of pushed Tam to the side, that I like brace him so he doesn't fall over. So I want him to kind of know that like, hey, we're not trying to hurt you or anything. We're trying to help make sure
Okay.
he's on his feet, and I'm also sprinting forward.
Professor has a very sleepy Karina on his back. Which Karina, you're in your 2 hours of long rest at this point, so you've got 6 hours left. Took a while to get down into the mines and have this conversation, but you guys are pretty deep in the mines. Melody, you sprint forward. Your sister stays behind with Eritrea and Tam. Professor, you've got Karina on your back, but you're free to do anything if you wish to.
I was going to set Karina's pack down and just subtly like arrange it so that like not in a way to be harmful, but so all the weight's kind of resting on her because she doesn't strike me as a physically powerful individual. And
Wow!
So much shade.
and I'm just going to cast a. I don't want to do this as like a damaging effect, but I basically want to put a sacred flame nearby, just so that I can kind of mark the spot where she is. So
Where
I
she
can,
is.
so it's hard.
Okay. So that Eritrea's with Tam. Karina's like slightly behind Tam, and Melody, you're running forward with the professor up towards Forn. Forn, you get there first. There is a large collapsed opening in the mine. You get the feeling that somehow Twist missed it. It's a very steep drop down into the darkness. You can see maybe about 150, 200 feet down, where a little glint of light from the device that Twist was holding is down there in the darkness with her. But you see no movement, and you can't really see her. It's too deep, too far down.
I'm jumping in and I'll activate the ring of fly. Like I'll jump in about halfway down. I'll activate the ring.
So Melody, when you and Professor get there, is right about the time that Forn activates his ring and starts to fly down into the open pit. Forn, as you begin to descend downwards, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception, you say, is
Yeah.
a 20.
20.
Ooh.
The sides of this pit are very unstable. Touching them could cause them to collapse further. You get the feeling that you're passing through lots of excavated rock and soil that was poorly backfilled. And as you're passing through, you're looking, and now you're passing by stonework, like actual halls or the remnants of buildings. You go deeper and deeper, and as you land, you find the unconscious form of Twist lying on the ground.
As soon as I hit, I'm just gonna double check that I have it. I think I have it. I'm gonna do, assuming she might be badly injured. Good, I do. Spare the dying on her.
Sure.
So just to make sure that she's not dead. And then I'll look back up. How far up was the cavern?
150 feet.
150 feet. Okay.
And the only reason you can see Melody and Professor is because there's light coming down from them, because at this point, Eritrea has kind of let Tam get a little bit closer, but kind of keeping him under watch.
Okay. I'm gonna
and
fly
they're all
up
kind of at the edge of the crater at this point.
I'm gonna fly up about. I'm gonna fly up 30-ish feet, so I'm within range to do message, and I'm gonna point and say to you guys, hold on up there. The edges of this thing are very unstable. It could collapse at any minute if you touch it. Wait at the top. I found her. I'll try to bring her back up, and then I'll go back down in the hole.
As you get down to where she is, you begin to realize you're in a larger chamber now. While the sides of the pit that she fell through are very, you can hear the gravel kind of, plinking from up above. Melody, you and Professor easily notice that the edge of the pit is very crumbly. Like if you get too close to its edge, you watch as gravel and small rocks begin to kind of fall down into the pit. So it does look very unstable, even the ground that you guys are currently standing on. Tam is besides himself. He's very worried. He's trying to get closer to the pit, but Eritrea is keeping him back. Your sister's further back.
Mhm.
What's your passive perception, Melody?
14.
14. Professor, what's yours?
I think it's 9. I mean,
So wise, so
Yes.
wise.
I'm very intelligent, not very wise. Yeah.
Ford, while you can hear the others because it's echoing down and the rocks continue a steady patter of collapse. You're in a bigger chamber, like whatever you fell through. You're in the beginnings of what looks to be significant tunnels, like well-carved stone. The stone looks old, like really old. There's no sense of dampness or moisture down here, so it doesn't feel like it's an old sewer tunnel. But this feels very old. Like just looking around at the stonework and the way it's all been kind of put together. With that passive perception of yours, you get the feeling that no one's been down here for a long time, because as you look forward down the tunnel, you can tell that there's no footprints. There's lots of just static sand or gravel everywhere that if someone had been down here would show. And it's dark down here. It's like really dark. And you can see exposed archways that kind of deviate off the main access of the tunnel as well. The one thing that catches your eye, though I don't know if you'd be able to interpret it. What are all the languages that you speak?
Common, Elvish, Marquesian, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant.
Oh, you do speak Thieves' Cant.
I do.
There is a very old Thieves' Cant mark above one of the arches, and you interpret it to mean her will is this way.
Odd. Do I get? I'm gonna ask real quick. Do I get the impression, knowing the sides of the tunnel are weak, if I was to use
the side of the pit are,
or the pit? I mean, the pit. Sorry.
Yeah.
If I was to use Entangle, because it's a spread spell,
Sure.
Thinking it would go around the edges to kind of hold it together, so that if we need to get down here, they can
Give
down
me
without
a
collapsing on us.
spell casting roll as you begin to manipulate the entangle to reinforce the pit so that everyone can make their way down.
Yep. There it is. Okay. That's good. It's only first level, so cool. Just barely made it with an 11.
Ooh.
You guys watch
That was
as
close.
as these vines and plants begin to, and I'll let it kind of like go a little bit further, because rather than an area of effect, it's like crawling up a height effect up towards the top. Eventually it reinforces and all the loose dirt kind of stops falling and all the loose gravel kind of stops falling.
I think I got it held up if y'all want to come on down.
I mean, so
How?
You don't have rope?
150 feet of rope? Am I carrying 150 feet of rope?
I mean, the professor's just in there like, I could ferry you all down. I do have, wings. I was honestly a little surprised that
Doggo!
Thorn took the lead, but fine. Just take my thing. It's
Anyone gonna go back for Karina, or are we just leaving her in the tunnel?
Well, we're definitely bringing. I mean, we have to bring everyone down if we're gonna go down, right?
Yeah.
We're bringing like Arya and Regina and Tam are all coming down.
Look,
Yeah.
technically, I could fly back up there. We
We
put
could
everybody
use
in
trips.
the.
You
All
guys
right.
watch as
Some trips with the people
Tam-
with wings.
Tam's so worried about twists. You watch as he pulls a 5-foot length of rope out of his bag and he centers it over the pit and he lets it go. You watch as it just hovers there briefly and he reaches out and he holds onto the 5 feet of rope and it begins to levitate him down into the bottom of the
Ooh.
pit. As he gets to the bottom of the pit, Foreign, he kind of grabs you by the shoulder and thank you. and he sends the rope back up.
That's a
As
fun trick.
it is the levitation rope trick. So one by one, you guys can all easily just hold on to the rope, and it will bring you down into the bottom of the pit.
I'm imagining the professor's still going to fly himself down. Out of
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it'd be
absolutely gonna
Your
fly
pride.
myself.
With
Too
Corinna on
much
his back?
shame. Too much shame involved in not using his own wings.
Will Eritreo or Jalbatros carry Regina down?
And Karina.
And
I mean-
Karina, that's right.
I mean, Karina's on Professor's back, so he goes back and puts her back on his back, and then he could just fly down with her. Regina's hands are bound, but she can hold on to the levitation rope,
Okay.
and she makes her way down. Your sister just looks at you, Melody, and she's just like, "Oh my God, you know all the cool people. How's this? I mean, this is so cool. First we're fighting goblins, then we're meeting these two. Now we're going down in a pit, and this is so." And she's like talking the whole way down. She's just like, "This is so cool." You know, the
I know.
levitation
Oh my
rope
God, I'm
trick
so
is
glad
like,
you're having fun.
yeah. Before long, that tunnel that you're in now, Ford, lights up because everyone's kind of like joined you down below. You watch as Tam pulls out a small red potion bottle, pours it into Twist's mouth, and immediately her eyes fly open. She sits up. She's got this huge cut on her forehead. She's like, "What happened? What did I do? What happened?"
You fell about 150 feet and hit the ground very hard.
Oh,
You're
for
okay,
fuck's
though.
sakes. This wasn't here last time, Tam. This is new. Yes, this is new. This is not. an
No,
old
this
map.
is very, very old. Everything around.
No,
here
no,
is
not
very
the
old.
chamber. The hole in the pit that poor Twist fell through. That was not there before. We've been down this tunnel. I was trying to take you further down into the mine shaft where my maps could give us some idea where to dig, but it would seem that we have found our way down even deeper beyond that. This is amazing. There's old stonework here. There's writing, and
Mhm.
where are we? This.
I don't know, but the writing says her will is this way. I can read that much, but I have no idea who she is.
Eritreo, give me a charisma save the moment that Thorn says that out
Plus
loud.
5.
Sorry.
Yep, you do get a +5 to your charisma save.
It's a 10.
10. You guys watch as Eritreo walks over to the archway. He looks up to see the strange writing that he can't recognize, but that phrase seems to trigger him. He looks down the long, dark tunnel beyond the archway and simply just steps into the darkness.
Oh,
What?
wait, Treo.
No response. You just hear the echoes of his footsteps as he goes deeper into the tunnel.
Look, Tam, we gotta. If you come with us, you come with us. And
Where's your friend going? That doesn't seem like a wise thing to do.
he does this kind of thing sometimes, but it's yeah. And Foreign's running off after him.
And why is your other friend asleep on your other friend's back? What is going on?
All right, she had a really hard time trying to do a spell today, and no one's going to make her feel bad about it, but we got to go.
Melody just goes chasing after Eritreo down the long hallway. Tam's like, well, Twist, they did save your life. Well, shit, yeah, let's go. And she immediately starts sprinting off down the tunnel in the direction that
Is
Eritreo
Karina
is
gonna
going.
have performance anxiety now after this?
I mean, she's asleep. She has
Right.
no anxiety at all right now. She sounds like, I mean, Professor's like a soft, downy bed. I mean, he's like, she's just buried her face into the ruffles of his feathers on the back of his neck, and she's just blissfully enjoying her long rest at this point. Thorn, with your passive perception and the lighting up this tunnel that you're going down now, give me a religion check for starters.
Oof. Good luck with that one. Well, not terrible. That's A 13, a 12 plus 1.
I would say you at least recognize the imagery and the iconography. The inner linings of this tunnel that Eritreo's kind of going down towards a distant darkness. You could see him. He's moving awfully fast for someone who's not running. It's very strange. All of you are sprinting to try to keep up with him.
He's on the moving walkway, and we're running.
Yeah, it's really strange. All the iconography and imagery on the inside of these tunnels are dedications to Tymora.
Oh.
Who?
Tymora.
I remember her from the last campaign, but I don't know that. Yeah. And so I'm running after him, and like, what is Tymora?
And they're very well detailed. They show images and pictographs in such a way that maybe they're trying to tell a story, but you're moving too fast to kind of figure out what that story means.
I'm definitely not paying attention to the story. Yeah.
You get to a point where you get to another archway, and Eritreo stopped at this archway. There is a large round chamber beyond this current archway that he stopped at, and there's a giant empty pit in the chamber. He stopped and he's looking above him. Foreign, you could see another thieves' cant phrase etched into the archway. It says, "Thine will done."
Before I speak anything out loud, I'm gonna like pull him away from the edge and kind of like the 2 slaps across the face, like, get a hold of yourself, boy.
Yeah, like Eritreo, you feel yourself get pulled back. Suddenly you're staring at Foreign. You're in a dark chamber that you don't remember coming down. Something just triggered your mind to do that. And while you and Foreign are standing there, Eritreo, you look over his shoulder. Hanging over this empty pit that's maybe 100 feet in diameter, up to the distance of darkness that you could see it. Hovering above it with these heavy like chains coming down into a 6-foot tall metal, what for all intents appears to be like a metal sarcophagus that's being held in place by these heavy chains. You can see more religious writing on the sarcophagus. There's more dedications to Tymora on the interior of the wall of the chamber. You and Foreign like look over the edge of the threshold that you're on, and you could see way down at the very bottom of this, what feels like a bottomless pit, a very dim, subtle glow of orange and a very kind of like mild effective heat coming up out of the pit.
Hey.
This feels all kinds of crazy, Eritreo. Not only that orange and heat, we're underground. I'm only going to guess that might be lava or magma down there. That's a fucking creepy coffin up there. Big ass chains holding it up. And you just went all crazy. Like, if I hadn't stopped you, you were going to just dive on in.
I have wings.
He doesn't.
I know you have wings, but I don't know that would stop you from diving on in.
Am I able to interpret any of the religious writing that's on this sarcophagus?
Give me a religion check. The sarcophagus might be a little bit too far away, but you could definitely see the writing on the chamber walls and some of the writing and imagery on the tunnel.
I tell you,
language is that writing? Yeah.
25.
This is a containment chamber. Somebody has gone to a great deal of through divine power to make sure that whatever's in that iron sarcophagus is being contained by the blessing of Tymora. These are old writings. You get the feeling this chamber was built well over 400 years ago, when King's Fall was probably first being built.
And again, forgive me if I miss it. What language are the warnings written in, or
The archway
ones on
warnings
the
were
archway were
written
in Thieves'
Yep.
Camp.
in Thieves' Camp. All of the other writings and imagery is in common.
What? Hey, real quick, Eritrea, what did you feel just now? Before, I mean, obviously we're here in this thing, but before I slapped you,
I didn't feel anything. My mind was blank.
I don't like that. Look, I can read what that says, and I point at the archway. I can read that. Last time I read it out loud, though, you went walking down the hallway blind. And I don't know how you walking that fast. We were running to catch up with you, and I just barely caught you here right before you stepped in.
Professor, do you, you're the studious kind. Do you have any background to what, like, who Tamora is? What
Luck.
she is?
I know she's the goddess of luck.
okay,
Of
I'm
luck?
gonna say like I do from another character, but
I know the name. I assume.
I
Yeah.
would say that I mean, you would all know that since Foreign's pointing out that it's Timora, you all have the basic understanding of knowing that Timora is the goddess of luck, and gamblers, merchants, and a lot of folk who rely on luck will often visit temples or altars as a way of gaining luck through whatever offering they might give towards this. But this feels like a very dedicated effort. Like whoever did this was somebody that was probably a true believer of Timora. And it's at that moment that Cam kind of points towards the edge of the chamber wall. What is that? And as he points, there's a strange kind of seepage on the chamber wall. It's almost like a kind of black and green ichor. And you all kind of notice him point it out. And now you can see that the parts of the imagery that you can see inside the chamber have been slowly being covered by this strange liquid goo. It doesn't seem to have a foul smell. You notice that it's like hanging on some of the chains. There's at that moment you watch as a big droplet like drops right by all of you, passes by you, and heads down into the deepness of the chamber pit. And at some point, another big droplet goes by and down into the chamber pit as well. What do you suppose this is? I'm not one for divinity. I don't understand this. What is the purpose of this chamber? This feels old.
They don't want it to be disturbed. A lot of effort went into this to prevent that coffin from being disturbed.
I'm gonna go take a look at that goo. All right.
Twist is already at the edge of the wall, and she's run her finger through it. And she's got a big old globule that on her finger, and she's like flicking it off. It's really sticky, like taffy. Whew, it smells. And she just kind of flings it off over the edge of the chamber.
I'm gonna cast detect magic if I can cast detect magic.
Go for it. Yeah.
The rate we've been rolling. Okay, good. It's a 10. So plus my modifier, I've easily beat that at a level 1. So I detect magic to see if anything else is resonating around here.
I
assume I have to fly up to the coffin to get to that one, but the goo,
are you gonna fly up to the sarcophagus?
I will, but I'm checking the goo first if it's
Okay.
resonating at all, if it's magical at all, or
It is the goo itself doesn't appear to be magical at all. It's got kind of like a rotten smell to it. It's very tacky and sticky. You don't get the feeling that the sarcophagus is the source, though. You look past the chains and sarcophagus. It's coming from somewhere further up above it, from what you can tell.
I'll fly up past the sarcophagus. I'll fly up up one of the chain arms or one of the chains, just looking, get to the top of the chain and see what I can see up there.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Constitution save as you fly
boy.
upwards.
Oh boy. Constitution save. That's 9.
You feel this like radiant energy, like as soon as you cross like the beginning of the sarcophagus, this radiant energy just slams into you for 48 points of radiant damage.
Oh no.
And it prevents you from going any further.
Like I was flying up like a bullet, and just bam.
Bounce
Whoa.
right off of it. And you guys look up to see this radiant like light crackle
Ooh.
across the underside of the sarcophagus.
Hells. Ow.
It's like a bird hitting a window.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh.
You okay?
No. Ow.
And
Damn.
with your passive perception stopping like that,
Yeah.
you look at where the chains are fastened to the wall, and you can see glyphs. These heavy, very deep, like etched glyphs into the ends of each of the chain. And they are currently recycling, like their energy is cycling to reset.
I'm gonna assume that means I might have a chance to scoot past this thing.
Yeah, you
So I'm
lift your
gonna-
head. Yeah, the
so
barrier's
that-
gone. Yeah.
So I'm gonna fly up and then tail up. the
As you,
chain.
as you fly up, the rest of you watch as that barrier kind of like shimmers and restores itself after Foreign flies past where that barrier is. Foreign, you're now up above the sarcophagus. There
I'm looking
is
for like the edges of the chain where the goo is running down it, like just trying to trail it up the edges and see where
the
it's coming from.
top of this space is becoming more conical and steeper at an angle. There is something hanging from the top of this chamber. It looks massive in size.
I'll take out my rifle
Okay.
and like looking through the scope because I haven't. I'm not up on it, but to give me more range.
You're a well-traveled Sylvan Fae. As you look through the scope, see if you give me a nature check with advantage because of your scope.
Okay. Damn, it's double 11s, but that doesn't mean a whole lot right now. That puts
Only
me
if
at a
someone's
16.
trying to kill you or you're trying to kill them.
Right. So that's a 16.
16?
Yeah.
You barely make out the outline of the remains of a beholder.
Ooh.
Oh.
And it's decomposing very slowly. Give me a survival check on the condition of this part of the chamber.
Okay. That's better. Survival. That's 19.
You're not sure when that pit opened up, that twist fell down, but that has caused this area to be exposed to the outside climate of the mines. This decomposition that you're experiencing is maybe only a week or so old.
Okay. I'll take a minute and relay with my with the talisman on Ryan on Eritrea, and I'll let him know like there's a big ass dead beholder up here. It hadn't been here that long, perhaps a week. It's decomposing.
Well, no, it's been decomposing for a week.
Yeah, it's been decomposing for about a week. Yeah,
You have no idea how long it's been here.
Yeah. It's been decomposing about a week. I think it's the source of all this goo right now. It's all this thing kind of comes to a point at the top, but it's recent. Even the hole we fell through seems related to this. So watch that glyph.
Yeah, the height that you're at, the beholder's large physical skull that's decomposing, its eye is kind of, well, the eye is, the lid is open and the eye seems perfectly preserved. And there's almost like there's something embedded in the eye. You also notice that the top of the skull is tethered to the chains that are holding the sarcophagus in place down below. And that's when you hear it for the first time, a creaking noise. As the chain gives way, the beholder skull's pulled slightly upwards all of a sudden. All of you down below watch as the sarcophagus drops like a foot.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Can you make it stop?
I can try. So first, I'm going to fly closer to the beholder to try and get a better look at what is in its eye. Assuming it's beauty, right? But
I'm not giving out anything for that horrible dad joke.
Hey, look.
Come
I was
on.
setting it up. Giant beholder with something in its eye. Oh, it's Eritrea. That's what it is.
What have I done to deserve that?
It's a mirror image of Eritrea stuck inside the eye of the massive beholder.
They're like, you're sitting in front, and that's when you begin to realize with your passive perception that the eye has been surgically cut into and restitched. There is some kind of stone deeply embedded into its eye.
Oh, this is going to be gross. Okay. I'm going to try something stupid because, of course, I am.
You're foreign. What can,
is it?
Yeah.
So, massive, we're talking eye of this beholder as in like a person size could fit in it?
No, I mean, the eye is about like this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
well,
you could like jam your hand and arm
yeah.
in there, but I don't know if you want to go crawling around inside a dead beholder.
Oh, no, I was going to do worse than that. I was going to try and bamf inside of it and grab that thing and bamf back out. But
Look on Melody's face. I can never look at yellow the same again.
You know, yeah. So I'm going to, if that's the case, I'm going to use Mage Hand. I'm gonna take my pistol out first. I'm gonna use Mage Hand, and try and just take the stone. Assuming if it's in the eye, it's just floating there.
Unfortunately, the Mage Hand cannot push through the membrane of the eye. Can't apply enough pounds of pressure to push through. It feels like it's very rigid.
Summon it inside. Like I was trying to set the Mage Hand inside the eye.
It wouldn't be able to get out.
And then, I'm gonna shoot a hole in it and get it out. Yeah.
You're gonna shoot the eye as you. Okay, so you watch as the Mage Hand appears. Is that spell or cantrip? Cantrip, right?
Yep.
You watch as the Mage Hand appears. It grabs onto whatever stone that is. The stone is about the size of the palm of the Mage Hand. It grabs onto it, begins to float back towards you as if to try to push through the membrane of the eye.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to fire at the eye to just try and break a hole in it with my pistol.
Okay. Give me a shot. Give me an attack.
Certainly. That's an.
And all of you could see him up there doing something, but the sarcophagus has blocked your direct line of sight.
Yeah, that's a 28 to hit.
28?
Yep.
As you center the pistol on exactly what you believe to be the right spot, it hits it. The membrane shatters and tears and kind of like curls away. As soon as that membrane curls away, you feel a radiant energy boil out from where the stone is being held by the Mage Hand. I need you to give me another con save.
If I come falling by you really fast, I hope Professor will catch me.
Well, no, you've got your ring of flying activated is the problem.
Right.
Which means if you're unconscious at the top of the chamber.
Way up high. That's a 19 this time.
19. That'll succeed. So you'll take half of 74 points of radiant damage.
Ooh. Ouch.
Which is 37.
Okay. Whew. Still there. Barely. Just barely.
I have an idea. I see like Thorn getting pummeled.
You can see and sense bursts of radiant energy. Whatever Forn is doing in this upper part of the chamber, to get up there, he went through this radiant barrier that he described to you. He described the beholder skull that's been decaying, and he's punched a hole into its eye to pull out a stone, and now he has that stone. All of you down below notice that a very dim greenish light is now emerging in little broken fragments of the sarcophagus.
I want to shoot Forn a message, just be like, "Whatever you're doing up there, hurry up."
Melody is shouting, "Whatever you're doing up there, it is not helpful. Stop."
Go ahead, Professor.
I feel like I want to. I feel like we have a minute. So, would anyone object to a prophylactic, say, moonbeam on that sarcophagus? I feel like something bad's about to happen.
I feel like we should just get out of here. Not our sarcophagus, not our problem. Let's go.
I will try to. I'm gonna shout out catch and send the mage hand down, assuming it's gonna hit that barrier again, and drop the stone. But I'm shouting out to you guys catch before I send it down.
So what's the maximum range on mage hand?
Yep,
30
mage
feet.
And I think it's 30 feet. Yep.
They are now about 60 feet away from you. The barrier in sarcophagus is 30 feet away from you. They're another 30 feet on the other side of that barrier.
Professor, somebody, can you come out here and catch this stone?
I'm gonna fly up like as close as I can to see if I can catch it.
Watch.
Yeah, like you guys watch as Professor steps off. Tam looks at Twist, hands her the levitation rope trick. Go put this back in the pit just in case we need it. And she kind of journeys up the tunnel to put the levitation rope trick back in place in case anyone needs it. Ariana is like far enough away where she can't get hurt or be at risk. Forn's at the top. Airtrail, Melody. Professor, you have Karina on your back, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I don't want to cross the barrier. I'm just trying to get relatively close.
Right, but are you leaving her near Melody and the others, or are you taking her up with you?
No, I'm taking her up with me. I kind of figure like that's going to be safest for everyone.
Maybe.
Okay,
It might be a good idea to leave her.
So I'll say, as you start flying up to avoid the barrier, you can see where the glyphs have been active. You can even feel like the spell hum effect, like the hum of the radiant energy creating the barrier. You watch as 30 feet above that barrier, you can see Forn, who looks very rough, like he's pockmarked with burns and shows all sorts of signs of trauma. He starts manipulating the mage hand to come back down towards the barrier. As it gets closer to the barrier, it begins to arc. There's bolts of energy arcing off of it as it's getting closer to the barrier.
Does this seem like a good idea to you?
You watch that the sarcophagus surface is showing more cracks, more green light is beginning to kind of emanate in darker patterns and more prolific patterns of light. You can actually hear something moving inside the sarcophagus.
No.
All right. If I can hear something moving, I'm going to just drop a third level moonbeam on the sarcophagus.
And what kind of damage is moonbeam?
It's 3d10 radiant.
Okay.
He's got to cast it first.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's got to cast it first.
That's true. Give me a casting roll for it to go off.
Where are you?
Karina and the professor
25.
fall from the sky into the pit below.
There was a 25.
25. Okay, so it goes off. The moonbeam centers on the sarcophagus. Go ahead and roll damage for me, Professor.
1 second, because I do not have enough d10 out. I'll find them. Sorry, I'm kind of out of it today.
I figured since your camera was off.
Yeah, that was kind of left unsaid, but yeah, Eric's not feeling super great. 8 plus 17. Okay, so that is a total of 20 damage to it.
Okay, so as the moonbeam forms and you're concentrating on the moonbeam, it extends down past everyone down below. So Melody, Eritrea, and your sister and everyone, Regina, see the moonbeam pass down and in front of everyone in the center of the chamber. The moment that moonbeam arcs up, because it's a continuous 5-foot column of light that goes upwards as well, it crosses paths with the mage hand and the stone, and there's this sudden burst of energy, this kind of arc of energy that just blooms out as the stone incinerates within the affected area of these multiple radiant energies overlapping with it. It incinerates upwards and downwards. Foreign, give me a dex save, and Professor Jabatros, give me a dex save.
I'm gonna go unconscious. Holy shit!
Here's sorry, real quick. I didn't mention it earlier on. In the 10th level, Karina has a new cantrip in which she has a book. She can put the names of 4 people, including herself, in the book, and if one of them goes below 0, they get 1 instead of 0, so they don't go unconscious.
Is that
I meant to say that.
Is that a magical ability?
It's I don't know how to distinguish that.
So,
Sounds
I
like
know
the
that-
Raven Queen's Book of the Dead.
So I know that this is it's a pass-fail mechanic, but I rolled a 31 on Dex, so
Whoa.
So because you could see the bloom of energy coming down towards you, you're able to avoid some of the damage, Professor. Foreign, what'd you get?
With advantage, I got an 11.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Ooh.
So you're gonna take
I'm gonna go unconscious, is what you're
yeah.
saying.
So Professor, you're going to take half of 41 points of radiant damage.
all right.
And then Foreign, you're gonna take an additional 41 points of radiant damage.
So that was close to my max too. So that's great.
So I will say you're currently unconscious up
Floating way up
above.
in the air. Yep.
Your ring is active for how long? How long does your ring last for? Up to an hour, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as a fly spell. So whatever the fly spell
yeah.
is.
Okay.
So
Can I
Should
say
be up to an
I
hour, yeah.
Can I argue in
I'm
favor,
going to-
real quick, of for not being unconscious?
I mean,
it's
so
not
this book allows you to write someone's name in it, and if someone goes to 0 hit points, the book gives them 1 hit point back, right? It's because
Yes,
of what you
yes.
do in the book.
yes.
Is-
Lauren,
the,
you are unconscious for a brief moment, and for whatever unknown reason, you have no idea, your eyes flicker and open as you have 1 hit point. But you felt yourself go unconscious.
That's a
The
real
stone
good
is now
secret.
disintegrated. You can see that the glyphs are still there, and the last of the beholder's skull is decaying. Another section of chain. You guys watch as the sarcophagus another 5 feet lowers as the chain gives way. More green light coming from the sarcophagus. More of that goo is kind of like decaying away from the skin and tissue of the remains of the beholder skull up above.
And the goo
I
is
did-
coming from the beholder, right?
It
my
is.
concentration, so,
All right. Shit. I gotta do something.
So is the barrier is that still obviously intact or
Yep, barrier's still there. Glyphs are still up and running.
How is
Eritrea, because of all this going on around you, give me another religion check, if you would, please.
while he's rolling, I just want to ask, how is the beholder held by one thing, or is
By
it
a
held by multiple?
single chain that goes to the top of the chamber, and then it breaks off into 3 chains that run down the chamber wall and then connect to the sarcophagus down below.
so
You
So
get the feeling when
beholder,
that
it's like a weight.
it's acting as a counterweight. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
16 on my religion.
16. This is becoming more familiar to you, Eritrea. During your studies at the Temple of Sarenrae, you remember studying something called the Seal of an Avatar. And this chamber has a lot of the descriptions that you remember reading in your book. That when an avatar is projected by any deity, whether it be greater, lesser, or from the below hells, it's anchored into this avatar for purposes of allowing itself into the material plane. You get the feeling that sarcophagus has sealed an avatar within it, and through Timora's magic that somebody used a long time ago, sealed this chamber with the intent of keeping that avatar trapped inside that iron sarcophagus. Whatever they use to make this chamber of seal work, it's now beginning to fail. You don't get the feeling it's any fault of anyone in particular, but you probably get the feeling that when that pit collapsed and it exposed this area to the outside, like air, and the pressure changed, something changed, causing that beholder to start to decay. And as it's decayed, the sarcophagus's seal is getting weaker and weaker. Unfortunately, you get the feeling that the only way to restore it was just destroyed. Because typically to do a chamber sealing, you have to make an offering to a deity. You get the feeling that's what the stone was. Then you have to make an offering of a powerful beast or creature. You get the feeling that's what the beholder was. And then whatever that avatar's presence is, the sarcophagus is now low enough that everyone on the edge of the chamber pit can see the sarcophagus kind of moving, and you can hear something inside of it.
Does it sound like the moonbeam is causing it any pain, or is it filtering through the cracks? I'm curious. I did roll to see.
Hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It could be causing it pain. I would say as long as, did you maintain your concentration?
I did. I got like an 18.
So as you're concentrating on that moonbeam and you're looking at the sarcophagus, you're like, as it sits in there, it is making growling noises. It's clawing and scratching at the iron metal of the interior of the sarcophagus. You get the feeling that it is continuously taking some damage from the moonbeam effect.
All right. I know we don't have that long left.
Well, how long does moonbeam last for?
Session, but
10 minutes, isn't it?
let me double check. I believe it's 10 minutes. But I was gonna try something to get Ford out of there without killing himself. But let me check moonbeam.
I'm shouting at Arya to run back down the hallway.
She's already running back towards where Twist has set up the rope trick to help her get back up into the upper mine tunnel.
It's 1 minute. So
yeah, I thought it was 1 minute. So roll. It's 2d10 damage, right?
3, because I cast at 3.
3d10. So roll. You may want to use D&D Beyond for this, but roll that 3d10 9 more times.
Okay. All right. Oh, so it's been a full minute?
We'll say it's been a full minute.
I'm gonna do this because its thing on multiple D10s sucks. So give me a minute. I'm just gonna write them down in the chat. If you want to go to another person, this might take a minute.
You can't just tell it to do 27 D10.
Yeah, 27 D10.
It's that, but I mean, I swear to Christ, that thing rolls low. Like I just rolled my first roll on that, and I know it's randomized and all that shit. My first one was an 8, a 9, and a 3. The one I just did was 2 9s and a 3. So it's like,
well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is like that's my physical dice.
If you want to roll physical dice, go for it.
So I'm just gonna post them in the chat, so I'm not like obviously cheating. But
You said so. It's one chain that then splits out into 3, right?
Correct.
So if I could figure out a way, not only counterbalance, but if I can figure out a way to pull those chains together, it stops them from going down further.
Correct. You get the feeling that the decay of the beholder is causing the counterweight to fail.
Yeah, they're tipping out. Yeah. Okay.
And with the way they're failing, eventually a sarcophagus is going to split open.
Yeah, I want to try and ensnare or entangle the three branches of the chain at the top to try and pull them back together.
Give me a casting roll.
Yep. Nope.
Oh no! Eritrea, did you ship some of your rolling mojo to foreign or what? That's
in the recent bond we formed.
It's a natural spell. It's a nature spell though.
true.
It's
So you're gonna be
entangled,
on.
right?
What'd you actually roll though? You didn't roll a natural 1, did you?
No, I rolled a 3 plus 6. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but I
that's
rolled
wild
an 88.
magic.
I rolled an 88 on my D100.
Rolled an 88.
Yeah.
Spirit of the Wild. You may summon a fae or beast spirit, conjure animals, one creature CR1 or lower. It obeys your commands for up to a minute, but the spell fails.
Up to a critical rating of 1.
Yep.
What is the heaviest animal at a critical at a CR1? Let's see. CR1. Let's go with. Actually, you know what? Let's go with a giant spider. I'll make it a giant spider, and I'm gonna have it trying to I'm telling it to weave this thing together, try and weave the chains together to keep this from falling any further.
Fair enough. Spider appears right above you. It hears your command, begins to weave the web in and out of the chain. It'll take some time. The spider is attempting to prevent this from collapsing, this whole thing from failing at this point.
Yep. Look, if
Galvagus lowers another 5 feet, and suddenly it jerks to a halt as the spider is successful at weaving the web to prevent it from going any further. For those of you on the edge of the pit, their sarcophagus is now within about 10 feet of you, slightly above you, and 10 feet out in the center of the pit. There is definitely a feeling that you're on the very edge of its necrotic effect. If it starts lowering any further, you feel like whatever necrotic energy is coming off of it will definitely begin to impact you.
All right, I just did that. It was a total of 20 on the very first one I did, and the 9 I just rolled was 152 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so it'll be halved to 76. Okay,
you have 276.
Yeah, I halved it to 76 because of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said you have, but HAVE. I'm like,
no,
oh, shit. All right. What was it? Can I try a thing that this is not a crazy stupid thing. This is just trying to use physics to hopefully get.
Oh yeah, physics in fantasy never goes wrong.
Yeah. This is I went to, you said the barrier that Thorn flew through is radiant energy, right?
Correct.
And it hurts.
Okay, can I cast Sacred Flame at a certain point on the barrier, just to see if the two kind of briefly?
Well, I'll give you a freebie. You get the feeling that radiant magic, when it collides with this barrier, is not good. Because the stone was radiant, and when it collided with the barrier, it unfortunately created an effect that bloomed up and out and destroyed the stone that had fallen into the barrier.
All right. So at this point, the barrier
can always try to dispel magic.
Well, I don't have that, but
just saying.
Can I see the enchantment is coming from the glyphs on the wall, right?
Correct. There's a glyph at the end of each chained plate to the wall, and that's creating this 5-foot barrier that if you run into it, you take damage from it, and the barrier drops for only a millisecond as it recharges, and then the barrier reforms.
So what I want to do is, because I'm trying not to hurt Karina, I want to fly to as close as I can get to one of those barrier stones. I just want to hit it with poison spray to see if I can make it dissolve, or just
Yeah, I believe that's a ranged attack roll, correct?
It is. I'm
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's a cantrip, but or is it? Yes, cantrip. Okay. I would roll my black dice in my dark room and not be able to see it. I will re-roll that.
We call that plausible deniability.
Yeah, that rolled into a crevice on my desk, and I reached to pick it up. So plus, what is my spell modifier for that? I believe it's 4 because it's a wizard spell. Plus 6. Okay, that is a 19.
19. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 7 I'll just do it twice. All right, that is 8 plus. Okay, that is a total of 12 poison damage to the stone.
So as it slams into the metal and the stone that it's all kind of adhered to, the glyph flares briefly and then settles back into its state. While it looks like the effect had done a little bit of damage to the chain, overall it doesn't look like it took much damage.
Okay. I don't think it matters. I didn't include a modifier on that. That would have been a total of, I want to say, 25 to hit. It was 19 plus my spell modifier plus another.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the device is pretty resilient.
Okay. All right.
I have another just delightful idea, and it's going to be a little rules lawyering.
Melody, Eritreo, the two of you, and Tam, because Tam is there. Ariana and Twist have headed back. You notice that the sarcophagus is now cracking.
I mean, it's been cracking for a while. But
no, it's it was showing damage, but now these are fissures. These are exposed cracks. You can actually see something is moving inside.
So I'm going to read a spell real quick and tell you what I would like to do with it. Because of the way this spell is written, I think I can do this.
I think I can.
The spell is catapult. Spell is catapult. Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must take a dexterity saving throw. That's not as important on that one.
Right.
What I'm trying to do is catapult a link of chain downward to pull that sarcophagus back up.
So the challenge you have is currently the links of chain are not disconnected. So the skull's decaying. The skull's connected to the chain that goes up to the very top.
Yeah, I'm going to go above the skull to a link of chain above the skull.
Yeah, but the problem is the link of chain above is taut. So it's connected along the wall down towards the sarcophagus. So there's no loose link. It's all connected still. It's just as the skull goes up, the sarcophagus is going down because of the weight difference.
Okay. All right.
I want to cast Aura of Life on everyone around me.
Okay. Your Aura of Life goes up.
I need to roll for it.
Oh, yeah, it's a spell.
I pass. I rolled a 17.
Woo! Air trails. Hot.
Woo!
Hot with them dice today.
Everyone within 30 feet of me is resistant to necrotic damage.
Nice.
And your hit point maximums cannot be reduced. If an ally with 0 hit points starts its turn in the aura, that ally regains 1 hit point.
Okay, so currently Melody, Karina, Professor, and Eritrea affects you as well?
Yes.
Okay. So are currently resistant to necrotic damage.
So, okay, I think I'm working out an even wilder thing to do. So,
Melody's like, if you would have just left it alone.
I'm going to try and put off 2 spells at once. Or not at once, but pretty quickly after each other.
Okay.
So Acid Splash is a cantrip.
Yes.
And I'm going to try and splash acid on the lower chains holding the beholder's head.
Okay.
and catapult the link above the acid splash to send it down 90 feet.
Okay. Are you a oof? That's all doable.
Yep. So acid splash is a cantrip, so I don't have to roll for that one, but I'd have
Correct.
to roll for catapult.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So give me a spell casting roll for that.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens.
Yep. Hey, that's a 10, so it's gonna pass because my modifier is a +5.
Okay.
Mhm.
So your spell goes off.
Yep.
First, as soon as the acid hits the chain, within mere moments, the acid quickly burns through the chain. It separates. The beholder head is now falling down towards the sarcophagus.
Yep.
You catapult the chain downward,
Following the beholder head, yeah.
following the beholder head with the intent of them pulling the sarcophagus back up.
Yep.
At which point, all of that happens, except the beholder head passes by everybody else. As the chain passes down, it yanks on the sarcophagus upward, and then all three of the chains shatter. They just go beyond the intended tension point of the sarcophagus. All the chains shatter. The sarcophagus is now falling freely down into the deep portion of the pit. It falls right past all of you in the chamber, goes right by you. It's now beginning to tumble slightly because the creature or whatever's inside of it is suddenly desperate. All of you, like foreign looking down, the glyphs all shatter and the effect falls away. And after about 2 or 3 minutes of falling, and you can hear it echo hollowy, like it's got that iron hollow sound as it impacts the sides of the chamber. And then there's just this kind of like deep echo of a thud. There's a slight flare of orange, and then the flare of orange goes away. The chains kind of all start to fall past everyone. The glyphs are dormant. The chains fall down in the deep part of the chamber.
What's left at the top of the chamber now? Was
Just-
there a hole? Was there ever a hole up there, or is it just the
No,
point?
it's just this big metal
Yeah.
eyelet that the chain was looped through.
So I just ran that. Do you want to know how high, assuming normal gravitational effects, you know how high 2 minutes of free fall is?
Pretty high.
Yeah, it's 230,000 feet. The guy is in orbit.
Well, he was
I don't know
bouncing
what
his
that
way
does for-
down, you know.
Well, he was bouncing off the interior, tumbling. Whatever it was, as far as you know, probably hit the lava down below.
But no, it's just like, okay, that's what?
I hope
60
that
miles up.
I hope that was a bad thing that we just dropped into lava. I feel really bad if it wasn't.
A lot of
I-
kind
I-
of-
Watches
Ford's
Ford
flying
comes
back down.
flying back down.
He looks like shit.
Yeah, he looks haggard. He looks brutal.
A lot of
Shocked
kind
that he
of
can still stand
necrotic
up.
energy coming off that thing, so
Maybe it
I'm
was
calling
just
that a
him.
win. It did not like radiant energy. It was not enjoying itself in there. What did you do? This was a
What
relatively.
did you do? I sent that stone down there just to hand it off. What did you do? Where's
The
the stone?
sarcophagus was beginning to burst open. I made the executive decision to maybe try to kill the foul being that was in it. Why do you think taking a gem out of a mummified beholder's skull was a good idea?
Did you just ask why I thought taking a gem was a good idea?
No, what out of a
It's a magical gem. What I mean, of course I'm gonna take the magical gem.
look, I want to say this belonged in a museum, but I don't think it did. I think that would have been rather a bad call, as they say.
What did you do to the gem? Where's the gem? Because Orin got blasted unconscious from that. So
True.
It exploded in the moonbeam.
what? The moonbeam?
Yes, I centered it on the sarcophagus that was cracking open with, foul energies. It just so happened that the moonbeam kind of continues upwards, and I assume that the beholder skull being situated directly above it was intentional by whoever did this.
So the best I could figure is that beholder was a counterbalance, but it was rotten, so it was coming apart. So I was doing my best to tie the damn thing back together.
I know my camera's off, but I'm just sitting there like doing the slow blink, like don't believe you reaction. Just like,
Can we
Sure.
get out of here and discuss this later? I don't like it down here.
Yeah,
Are there-
this was fun, but I think we can go, right?
Are the arcane gems still lit? Like, I mean, I feel like we need to collapse what's left of this thing.
No, the
If
glyphs
that's
are all as soon as
Everything-
those chains snapped,
Hmm.
those glyphs stopped doing their responsibility. They just went dormant.
One thing, right? And then I'll say, shit, I wrote it down. Where did I write it? Not that one. This
Tam's
will-
already gone. He's heading back up the
Yeah,
tunnel.
I say this will done, which is
You
what
said-
the art said.
You say that while Eritrea's there?
Uh-huh.
Eritrea, give me a charisma save if you would, please.
Thanks.
Plus 5.
You guys won't believe this. The natural one for
Come on. No. There's no way.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Because you know why? That's exactly where we're going to
the
leave
end of
off
the
tonight.
No.
Shit.
By the way, while Karina was asleep on Professor's back during that whole chamber scene, Tam had figured out, I rolled really high on his insight check, he figured out what was wrong. So as Professor starts to walk away, like everyone's starting to walk away, but then Forn kind of reads the archway. Tam casts Greater Restoration on you, Karina. So at that moment in time, you get a long rest. Like at that moment,
Oh.
Greater Restoration gives you the ability to have a long rest.
Can I go back to sleep? I don't want to deal with this.
You never woke up. He just cast it without even waking
Oh.
you.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, natty
Woo.
1. This is gonna be fun.
I had a lot more
man.
faith in you, Eritrea.
Well, good this session.
I still don't know why
Wait,
Ford read it. I mean, I guess he thought it was safe
Look,
to read
the
it.
gl-
I
the
mean,
glyphs were down. His thinking was the glyphs were down. This is the last thing to check it.
no, unfortunately, that wasn't what was linked to what pulled him into the chamber, unfortunately. Well, you guys linger so we can talk about the schedule. Everyone else, thanks for coming out. Be kind, be safe, and don't forget, play a game, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.